watching Eyewitness News at 10 o'clock. We do start with that breaking news tonight. Following developing story now, that search happening in Shelby that could be tied to the disappearance of Asha Degree back in 2000.
Now, we told you that search started yesterday along Cherryville Road. Today, we saw investigators tow a green car from the same location. That car resembles a vehicle tipsters told police they saw Asha get into when she disappeared in February of 2000.
From Chopper 9 today, we also saw investigators examining what appeared to be a cross buried in the ground. We have team coverage tonight of these developments and their impact on people who live nearby. Channel 9's veteran crime reporter Glenn Counts has followed this case since Asha first disappeared. And Glenn, this is one of the biggest developments we've seen recently.
Well, Scott, investigators left the scene hours ago, and we've been told they will not be coming back. Now, we don't know what, if anything, they found, but it could be up to a lab to determine if they are any closer to solving the mystery of what happened to Asha Degree. 24 years ago, 9-year-old Asha Degree vanished, leaving nothing but questions for her family.
She was just a beautiful kid, right, quiet, kind of, you know, smile a lot, you know.
Willie Key is Asha's great uncle. Today, he came to see the search for himself. What would it mean to your family to finally get some closure?
Oh, it would mean the world to us to know that we found out what happened to our niece.
Agents with the FBI, SBI, and Cleveland County Sheriff's Office descended on Cherryville Road. There was an extensive search using ground-penetrating radar and specially trained canine dogs. After searching for the better part of 2 days, authorities towed away this green 1960 model car. The FBI put out photographs of a similar-looking car years ago that Asha might have gotten into. It's not an exact match, but it would have been dark around 2:30 in the morning when she allegedly got into that vehicle. This search is one of many that have occurred down through the years to determine what happened to the 9-year-old.
And then we kept hearing different things, and then it not mount to anything. So that just all I know. I just have to wait and see.
Authorities have not said what, if anything, was taken during the search and whether it rules any possibilities out.
Yeah, it gives me hope and make me a little angry.
In what way?
I don't really know how to explain it, but that somebody would do my niece like that and keep it covered up all this time.
Now, the warrant that gave investigators permission to search has been sealed, and so we don't know if they got some sort of a tip or if some other kind of evidence surfaced that led them to this area. Reporting live from Cleveland County, Glenn Counts, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
All right, Glenn, thank you. Asha was just 9 when witnesses said they saw her walking away from her house. Her family said they last saw her in her bed sleeping around 2:30 in the morning, but an hour later is when drivers claimed they saw her walking down Highway 18. A year later, her backpack was found in the woods 30 miles away along Highway 18. The only clues inside, a book checked out from her school library and a T-shirt they say she didn't own. The FBI, State and Sheriff's Office learned in 2015 about that dark green car. The FBI announced to the public in 2016, and they released pictures of the cars that may have been involved.
Many people in Shelby remember the original search for Asha, and these new developments have caught the attention of the community. Channel 9's Erica Jackson spoke to some of them today, and she continues our team coverage live in Shelby. Erica.
Well, Hannah, for the last 36 hours, people have been driving in and out of this parking lot across from one of the search sites. Investigators cleared out around 7:30 tonight, but the people here say they haven't seen a search of this size in years. As FBI, SBI, and Cleveland County deputies spent all day Wednesday searching 2 properties on Cherryville Road, people from Shelby and beyond watched from across the street.
A lot of police presence, some going, some coming. Seen, I guess there were cops with a couple of coolers.
Stacy Asbell drives one of the dozens of cars that filled a field off Spake Circle. People watched as investigators towed away an older model green car Wednesday afternoon. It resembles a description of a car the FBI was searching for in connection to the 2000 disappearance of Asha Degree.
The mystery of her disappearing and no one knows anything, and I guess people want to know.
And there's thousands of green cars, but it's like what you remember being described as the car seen that night.
Jada Fortenberry remembers walking the halls of Falston Elementary School with Asha before her disappearance. She hopes this search will provide answers.
I felt like it would always be unsolved, and so it would be nice for the family to have some closure.
And we asked the FBI what agents found during the search. The agency would not share any details, including whether this investigation is connected to any ongoing cases. Live in Cleveland County, Erica Jackson, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Tonight I spoke with former FBI agent and ABC News contributor Brad Garrett. I focused in part on the only real clue we know about from today. That's the green car everybody's talking about towed away. And that one again matches the description of what witnesses say they thought they saw Asha get into when she disappeared. Let me ask you, a car that may have been involved or may not 24 years ago, what evidence could be left in a vehicle, maybe sitting in a barn or out in a field?
You'd be surprised what's left in a vehicle 24 years later. Hairs and fibers. There could be just things that are not to the naked eye, assuming that harm has come to this person and they were harmed inside the vehicle, or they were placed in the vehicle after being harmed. Mm-hmm. There could be, blood that you can't see anymore because it's been scrubbed out, but it's still on the carpet, it's still on the seats. There's a number of things, even 24 years later.
How much harder is it as years go on to solve cases like this? We're talking a quarter of a century almost.
So what's interesting about cold cases is that I think there is a general belief they become harder to solve. And, there are situations where that may be true, but it's been my experience working cold cases that it's not necessarily true. I mean, it really boils down to two things: persistence and patience. And if you have a case where detectives or other officers sort of hook onto them, and as weeks turn to months, months turn to years, they still keep working the case, and they still keep looking for leads, or they get leads and they follow them through. And more importantly, Scott, they go back and they look at what has been done over the last 24 years. In other words, people that were interviewed back 24 years ago, they may go back and re-interview them, because what happens is relationships change between people over the years, and things that 24 years ago they wouldn't own up to, they may today.
Yeah, we will continue to follow all the developments overnight. We're posting everything we learn online. You can also find a full history of the Asha Degree case. Just head to our website.